So this pattern does not have a lot of parts, a lot of moving pieces. It's a wonderful quick make. I've chosen vinyl for my exterior fabric. I have fused fleece to the back of my vinyl. I've chosen a Microsuede for my lining because this is safe for lenses. So it won't scratch up the lens, which is a great consideration. And I've lined it with SF101. So that is the majority of the fabric, sorry. So then you're also gonna need the piece for the snap that goes right here. And I've chosen this, and I have already fused a strip of Decaville Soft. For that, I'm going to cut it out and then sew these two pieces together, which you'll see shortly. In addition to that, you're going to need thread. I've chosen a white thread for today. You're also going to need snaps for the button. And then with the snaps, you're going to need a hole punch and your snap punch. So this is pretty much the materials that you're going to need other than your hands and your sewing machine. So let's go over to the machine. All right, so we're at the machine. And what I do is I cut out one strap and then I connect that piece to one square piece. And I'll sew these together. So you're going to ask me, why do you do it that way? It's because I am uncoordinated. So I don't tend to cut two things the exact same way. And this will avoid me cutting one out smaller than the other. So this is how I kind of do it. We're going to top stitch this at about 1/8 of an inch, probably 1/4. So we're just going to go up and around. I'm just following this foot. Well, I was until I got off track just now. But that's okay. No one's going to see it. There we go. And I always slow down when I get to the curves because I don't want to go off the edge. And this is my way of making sure that I don't. And I did. What just happened? I lost bobbin chicken. Okay, so as I stated before, I lost bobbin chicken. Didn't realize I was fighting. Thought I still had thread in the bobbin. Clearly was wrong. So I put the needle in a hole about 1, 2, 3 stitches back from where I lost bobbin chicken, and we're going to go around those same stitches again and then pick up from there. Since I made that mistake, I think I'm going to name this channel Welcome to Yes, I Made It, Where Mistakes Happen, because I feel like no matter anytime I record myself, I make the most mistakes. But when I'm just in here by myself, I make mistakes, but not as many, which is interesting. It is very interesting. But that's okay. We're learning together. Maybe that's the universe's way of trying to make sure I teach the right things. All right, let's get this out of there. And I don't like the stitching, but we'll work with it. I went a little too close on this side, but it does cover all the parts. And this is where I lost bobbin chicken, and we've covered those stitches. So we're going to snip all the threads and then cut this to be the same size. Let's do that. And I like to pull my threads through to the back. Perfect. And if you have a thread zap, you can just zap all of these to melt them a little bit to make sure that they don't come undone. And if you don't have a thread zap, you can always use fire, which is my second alternative. Actually, it's probably been my favorite version. Now, take my favorite fiskars and just trim this to the same size. Now you have two that are twins versus just sisters. All right. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to get your pattern piece. And now I can tell you that you can edge coat this if you want to. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to melt this with fire. Actually, let me see if my other... There we go. This is not a thread zap. This is an electric lighter. It's just one of my favorite tools to use. And I'll wipe that off and that brown will be gone. It did not. I just want to prove that it didn't stain it. It's just the melted threads. And I'll fix that. All right, so for now you're going to put your strap pattern piece on here, and we're going to cut out the little hole with your hole punch. Be helpful if I had it on there correctly. Just like that. I should have eyeballed it because now it doesn't look centered, but that's okay. We'll make it work. And then from here, we're going to also put the snap piece. We're going to put the nail piece here. Actually, we're going to do the female piece here. We'll put the nail piece on the main panel. Set that off to the side. Get your snap tool. I'm using this. I'm going to tell you I got mine from Amazon, so it's in my Amazon shop, but this I got from Amazon. And to be completely honest, my brother bought it for me because he was my Secret Santa My family does Secret Santa every year, and my brother bought it for me in a kit. Press it down like that, and then squeeze it, and it should look like that. Again, I'm going to clean that up. Please don't worry. I promise. So just like with the strap, you're going to take your pattern piece, lay it on top of your exterior fabric, line everything up nicely. Now, if you've already punched the hole in your pattern piece, then you can just mark the hole. But because I have not, I'm going to clip this still. Just so it doesn't shift when I do this. And then I'm going to take my snap or my press and press the hole for my snap. Just like that. And now for this piece, we're going to put the male part in this hole. So we're going to put this piece on the inside. And this piece on the exterior. Now, because this has enough layers, I'm not worried about it coming apart, but we did put Decoville Light inside of this connector because we wanted to be sure that this piece had stabilization. So, nope, wrong prongs. All right, so now we're going to take our snap press, line this up on here, and make sure everything's in place. And that prong piece is attached. All right, so now I'm going to show you how I did this. Everybody's different. This is just my process. So what I like to do is take the back side of the interior and mark where I'm going to start and stop stitching because I want to give myself room to turn this, because I am going to turn mine. Now you have the option of simply doing either raw edges or what have you. I'm going to be turning mine. So I mark where I start and where I'm going to, well, where I'm going to start and where I'm going to stop before I connect this. So I just want to get that out the way. What I'm going to do first is base down my strap. So in case you don't have your instructions, the best way to do that is to think, okay, it's going to snap here. So in order to do that, it needs to be the opposite direction over here. So I'm going to move it up just a little bit, center it between these two, and I'm going to base this down. And I know you're looking at it and you're like, Tanisha, that thing does not match the rest of your fabric, but it does. But it does. I have a little sneaky surprise at the end of this, and you'll see. All right, so we're going to snip our threads here. And here, that. Now with those stitched together in that manner, we're going to clip this all the way around. And I'll be back after I finish clipping. Okay, so I've clipped it all down. I'm starting where I said I was gonna, I'm at the mark that I made. So we're going to, and that got caught, stitch into, I think it's one more stitch. I might be wrong and we'll see in a minute. Yep, stitch into that area and then we're gonna go down. And you're gonna stitch at the seam allowance provided. And this is where it's a corner, an angle, so you want to make sure you turn that angle so that you get a nice crisp look at the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. There is something about sewing machine sounds that is like ASMR to my heart. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's real. Like, I can peacefully go to sleep listening to someone sew. One more stitch. One more. There we go. That I went a little too far, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. And then we're at the mark that I made, and we're going to go off the edge. And stop there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to snip each of the corner pieces. Do not cut your threads. Just snip right above it so it gives it a clean turn. Do not snip this overhang piece. It provides stability. All right, and then you're going to notch into this piece. So, like that. I'm notching right beside it. And you're going to do the same and make a notch into this middle piece. Do not cut your stitching, just close to it, not through it. There. Throw all this away. We're going to turn this and I will be right back. So I'm coming back to make sure I point out that you want to take your finger and make sure you are poking out all of your corners. If you have a turning tool, that is awesome to use. Chopsticks works. And if anybody says, do you use your utensils for sewing? I can tell you, yes, I have a fork in here that I used to use to only install zipper pulls. I don't use it anymore, but I did used to use a utensil for sewing. All right. Want to give it a look, a look-see-do. Make sure you are, see, this part is not poked all the way out. So I'm going to go in here and poke that out. So now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points that we are making sure are sharp and defined. Now this one did not poke all the way out, so let me fix that. And part of that is my fault. I started too far down when I was stitching this together. But that's okay. Now you're going to turn this to the inside. I want to try to line it up. You can use double-sided tape here if you're sure your double-sided tape will not gum up your machine. If not, I would clip this like this, just to hold it down while you do the top. There we go. Go ahead and clip that as you go. I don't know how this came undone, but okay, I'm gonna fix that. All right. What we're going to do now is we're just going to top stitch across this part right here. Just this part. Again, make sure it's all pressed out. I'm not going to back stitch. And now you're going to fold this in half and line everything up. Super easy pattern, super cute pattern. Make sure your snap's going to fall in place. Perfection. So I believe this pattern is domestic machine friendly. However, be mindful of the vinyl that you're using and on the machine that you're using. Like if you're using a machine that does not handle a lot of thickness, then I wouldn't use heavier vinyls. This vinyl is from JJ Custom Fabrics. It is actually a decent fabric. Like I could sew this on my domestic machine with no problems. It's not very thick, but it's very sturdy. I've made so many bags with this. Funny enough, majority of the bags I've made have been coffin shaped with this. I'm just trying to line up the corners. Where's the other? There it is. Okay, we have it completely clipped. We're going to start right here. I'm going to back stitch one time here just to reinforce this corner. I'm going to come up to here. I'm going to back stitch one time here again to reinforce the corner. Anywhere that there might be a stress point, I'm going to back stitch twice. We're going to stitch across here and then come down this side and then stitch. I'm going to back stitch here again, stress point down to the end. Okay. I'm going to melt down all of these fray points, but when you snap it down, you have your sunglasses case. This one is the large, and I'm going to show you why she made a large. These are the glasses that are literally on my face. Let me clean them because, oh my God, they are dirty. No judgment here. This is a judgment-free zone. These are large glasses. They are big. I like big glasses and I cannot lie. But I can easily, if I put both, fit them inside. And the reason why I used Microsuede is because the fabric is soft and it won't scratch up my lenses. If you wear glasses, you know glasses can be super expensive, and scratching your lens is ultimately the worst because you're always going to think something's on your glasses. So I chose Microsuede for my lining. So this green tab here, I chose that because it matches his sleeves. So it does still match. Adorbs. I absolutely love this pattern. This is the second one I've made. I'm about to make all of the sizes in this fabric, and then I'm going to do it again with a different fabric, but absolutely gorgeous. And a quick make. Great scrap buster.